I was always interested in art. I always made art. But I actually was more influenced by, other media than art. I liked Andy Warhol's underground films before his art, actually. I got exposed to that more. I liked kind of the irreverence in John Waters, Charles Bukowski, things like that. So, I was a bit of a rebel as a kid, so I was drawn to outsiders, I was drawn to the subculture. I don't know if that's why I wanted to start the magazine, but I did want to start a magazine, a contemporary art magazine, but I wanted it to be different. I didn't want it to be like Art Forum or Art in America or the popular magazines at that time. Also, it just became very obvious that LA really needed an art magazine that addressed what's going on in this art world. Here we have the most important art schools. Artists are flocking here. I think one of the most important covers of Artillery's career is probably Mike Kelly interview that I did with him. That really put Artillery on the map, kind of just showing how LA is an important art center, how Artillery has their finger on the pulse of LA. Mike Kelly is really one of the biggest international artists. He's very international. He actually didn't even have an LA gallery at the time. He was showing more in New York and Europe. He was very recognized there. But his home base was LA. He loved LA. He knew the importance of LA. He taught in LA. So it was pretty obvious that LA was becoming a very important art center of the world. And I felt like Artillery was really reflecting that. When we're thinking about who we want to put on the cover or feature in the magazine, my editorial team will talk about who is hot. Like, when we did Mark Bradford, he was hot, but we knew that he was coming up in the world. I want Artillery kind of to be, the tastemaker, or, kind of like, this is someone that you should be paying attention. Like, for instance, Lauren Halsey. We interviewed her like 4 or 5 years ago. Todd Gray interviewed her. And she, after then, was kind of exploding. Now, I don't give credit to Artillery for that, but we knew Todd Gray was hot. And then, he picked Lauren Halsey. Another uniqueness about Artillery is that it kind of has a lot of different voices. I have been very mindful of not having, I don't have to agree with every viewpoint. And I tell myself that's okay. Unless it's, someone who's against abortion or something like that. I won't have that in my magazine, There's lines I will draw. But I do like to have a lot of different opinions. Baldessari used to tell people at Cal Arts, it's a famous story, as soon as you graduate, go to New York. And that is not said anymore. LA has definitely an edge over New York. Just even if you compare the two cities, is, a newer city. You don't have traditions, So LA is more of anything goes. So it's a great atmosphere to make art because there's kind of no rules. That was sort of the same way with Artillery starting a magazine. Hey, there's no rules out here. It has a newness and freshness and rawness that you're not going to get from New York. I feel like when I started Artillery, I knew that Los Angeles was exploding. It was so obvious to me because just going to the openings, you would see not just artists, you saw a lot of people just going to, and you're like, what is going on, And I knew that it was very important for Artillery to be right there at that time.